Alrighty then, it's time for a Jungle Jarvan game, and this one is going to be a fun one. So, the context of this game is super important. Basically, a friend of mine, Mr. asked me, "Hey Stonewall, we're on a huge losing streak. Can you come break it for us?" And yes, it sounds cocky, but I decided to play Jungle Jarvan and be super try-hard and go with Victoria's skin to boot. Now, this is before the patch. You can see old Urgot in the enemy team. Yeah, Urgot. And he's mid lane against my mid lane teammate, and my mid lane teammate is probably the weakest link in some with the champion like Riven, so I knew he was going to have trouble, so I decided to go for a level 2 gank, and it's very obvious the Urgot did not suspect this at all. So I just kind of casually walk up to him and just start smacking him around, and I use my EQ once he flashes away, although the Riven gets the kill. To be honest, the Urgot should have just kind of let himself die, because he was going to die like a degenerate anyway, so... And that controversial part for some of you is that here I am stealing all the golden experience as much as I can instead of giving it to the Riven. I'm trying to reach level 6 as quickly as possible to smash the enemy team. Now the enemy team also has a jungle Twitch, yeah, bad composition all around, who I knew was going to try to loop around here, so just kind of casually beat the shit out of him, and dead. Then for whatever reason, the enemy Jax decides to go in on the Rumble. I am still around. He should have suspected that at least, or figured that out. So just EQ on him and just start beating the shit out of him, and red buff and my smacks end up bringing him down. And that's already 3 kills at around 4 minutes and 20 seconds. That's really brutal for the enemy team, especially since I'm going to get level 6 soon because of my taxing. The enemy team is also super squishy, so they're just kind of pop. I almost thought about just buying pure longswords instead of upgrading my jungle item, just so I could just smash them and just go for pure ganks and not farming, but whatever. I used the explosive trap or plant to get over, and I was hoping maybe they didn't have this warded, but because of Ezreal's reaction, you can tell it was. Still though, too many slows for me, Ashe, and he's just a goner. I probably shouldn't have dunked him, but it's hilarious to do that either way. And again, I continue my lane taxing as much as possible. I want to get as big as possible to sort of just carry my team. And here the Urgot is getting a little too cocky. Yes, the enemy Riven, his opposing Riven was a little too far, but he can't really outtrade this Rumble, especially how far behind he is. I go for the red buff along with my Pantheon teammate, and Twitch shows up. So just kind of slowly chase him around, knowing he can't fight back, and it's just kind of a little funny scene. It's like he's trying to use the plant so hard to escape, and instead it ends up sort of helping me, as I'm now behind the enemy bottom lane. The Ezreal can't walk towards me because he knows he's just gonna die, so he ends up trying to contest for a kill against the enemy, my Ashe and my Pantheon, so he ends up getting killed. Zillion survives thanks to his ultimate, but damn, that was just super unfortunate for the Twitch. He basically got his teammates killed, although I probably would have used the explosive trap anyways. The enemy team just kind of... should have kind of been paying attention to the minimap, and I was around there and ready to kill them. Again, if anything, this game is a testament to pretty much poor, map awareness. Anyways, run into Zillion, easily just dunk him. I know his ultimate isn't up. I probably, again, shouldn't have used my ultimate, but it's so fun to use. The Riven was also able to easily get a kill on the Twitch. Urgot, for whatever reason, got a little too close, just turned around on me. He ended up having to burn his flash for basically free. Rumble shows up, doesn't really get to do much with his ultimate, completely fails it really. But yeah, it's like the enemy team, or at least the Urgot, is super cocky with his shit. He's like, he really shouldn't be, getting too penis-y. He keeps getting punished for it. The enemy team in large just kind of keeps doing that. They don't pay attention to, well, the map. And they're getting punished for it hard. And as you can see, even now my lane taxing is continuing. I'm so far up ahead as a jungler, as someone who can one-shot, or one combo shot the entire enemy team. I use EQ to get myself over the wall here, just kind of hanging out, waiting for somebody to get close, because it's kind of obvious they don't have a ward here. My teammates have been telling me they haven't warded that. So I walk in there, just immediately dunk a Zillion, make sure he can't use his ultimate to help anybody. A good Ashe arrow actually catches Ezreal, making him burn his flash. He almost got killed. The enemy team is still hanging around here, and we could easily kill them if we don't fuck up our combos, where Pantheon is able to lead onto someone. So he goes in, easily kills the Ezreal. I just kind of walk in there and just start smacking Twitch's ass, and Pantheon ends up dying because we've been really trading turret shots. That was mostly my fault. I should have tried taking more aggro since I was healthier than the Pantheon. Still though, 8 kills and 4 assists, Black Cleaver completed. I do believe I buy Dead Man's Plate at some point, which is not the most dunkiest of item, but whatever. Twitch easily gets killed, and this is a fun little situation. Urgot's just trying to run for his life, but he knows he can't run away from the dunk, so that's a double kill for me. the enemy team hasn't really said anything. You know, I don't know what they could be saying. I didn't even upgrade my refillable potion at this point. I'm just going straight for all the murder items. The enemy Jax and my teammates are kind of dying, but that was kind of expected. And it is a little bit bad that all the gold is concentrated on me. But as long as I can keep, you know, absolutely one-shotting the enemy team, it really doesn't matter. All they got to do is sort of casually walk into me. I'll murder one of them, and then I'll probably dunk the other. Like here, Twitch is just kind of going for the dragon. I'm just kind of waiting for somebody to kind of waltz in here, you know, unbeknownst. Jax jumps me, I ignore him, go for the Twitch, spank him, jump to the Zillion immediately. Yeah, he's got his ultimate, but it's pretty much just kind of a waste. Ezreal is pretty much helpless, and to be honest, is kind of a bad hero right now. I think it's just because all the other AD carries are way much stronger, so his like early game isn't as good. Or his early game is fine, and his mid game is kind of shit. I'm not an AD carry player, but whatever. He's not really helping his teammates right now. He's way too weak and far behind. So yeah, the enemy team has to be able to kill me, but at some point I'm also going to buy a Guardian Angel, which has become one of the more powerful items nowadays. Though I think I do buy Titanic Hydra first before everything. Anyways, Urgot engages on the Riven teammate, and he does a surprising amount of damage, more than I thought he would be doing. Though of course Riven is just kind of really weak and building strangely. Jump in, spank the Urgot. You can see how much damage I did to both of them with a dunk. There's no way Ezreal can escape. I'm just making his life absolutely miserable. 13 kills and 5 assists. I've been participated in 18 kills so far. That's way more. That's pretty much most of my team. Well, yeah, that's pretty much most of my team's kills. Anyways, chase the enemy Jax. There's absolutely no way you could escape from these 4 people. Hell, even me just alone would probably spank them. But as we all know, at some point Jax becomes Jax mode, and even no matter how fed I am, he'll probably spank my bottom. So right now, the best thing I can do in a situation for this, for how big I am, since I'm kind of like a quasi-assassin, is try to make sure my team can do what I am not trying to do. In a sense, I hope to encourage them to push. Kill somebody who would deny them their push, and let them haphazardly go for objectives. And me roam around constantly farming, becoming this huge threat the enemy team has to sort of deal with. That's sort of somehow I won, let's call it the low elo games you've seen in my channel before, where I would just kind of go around looking for kills and just delete somebody threatening, someone who was either really good on the enemy team, or just kill as many people as possible, and my teammates, no matter how gimpy they might be in gameplay, can at least, you know, do something. Like here, I killed, what, Ezreal, and then I killed the Zillion, and I immediately go super ham against the Twitch, and my teammates are going to be able to freely push and farm up, so no matter how weak their laning phases or, you know, weak as players they might be, I can, you know, carry the day. Yes, some of you might have an issue with me calling weak players, but they acknowledged it. They kind of brought me into this game saying, yo, Stonewall, we're weak. And I'm not the, you know, the best, most godlike player LCS shit right now, or at all ever. But at least I can say with Jarvan, I can be pretty dope. Anyways, Rumble gets killed by the Jax. Jax is just kind of in a really bad place. He's going to manage to jump over, but Red is going to take him down. Pretty poor, pretty sad for Jarvan. Immediately go in, you know, dunk the enemy Twitch. Basically, Twitch and Ezreal are insta-killed no matter what, as long as I have my ultimate and when they're within range. Whoever is in front of me is going to take a huge amount of damage from my EQ, auto attack, and then Titanic smack. There's like, nobody can pretty much stop me right now. 1v1 probably the Jax at this point, and later on definitely 1v1 the Jax. My best bet right now, or my best bet while playing this game, is, you know, just to at least delete 3 players or something. And the enemy team kind of should probably be grouping up, or, I don't know, trying to farm, because they just can't do shit to my team. I'll catch anybody, and they'll get some opportune kills, because the Jax is really, really dangerous, or he's like, maybe their only really competent teammate, or maybe I just kind of annihilated their early game phase, but whatever. We got an easy peasy Baron. The enemy Ezreal tried to steal it, failed, and, you know, our regen is absurd, so I get to continue farming and going on my shenanigans. So I back up, and I'm building my Dead Man's Plate now. I have Guardian Angel, Black Cleaver, Titanic Hydra. There's no way I'm gonna die unless I get caught by like 4 or 5 people, you know, while I try turret diving or something like that. Yeah, foreshadowing. Right now, like, again, at this point, the enemy Ezreal should probably just stop trying to, you know, be brave. but I don't think that he's worth any gold, so he doesn't really give a shit. At this point, my team is also pretty strong via proxy of just kind of being carried by me. So the enemy team can't really even deal with the 4 of them at this point. Unless, my teammates initiate improperly, which they kind of have been a lot of the times, they won't really get killed, or, back in front of the enemy Jax. The Pantheon DC at this point, so the enemy team took advantage of that. I easily spanked, Jax gets to run away, and here I try really hard to protect the Pantheon. I can't take too many free shots, I was just trying to clear all the way, but they obviously kill him. And in a sense of vengeance for my teammate, Ezreal follows in a little too close, and I just kind of immediately dunk his ass. Twitch and Jax are enough to almost kill me, but I flash, and then I EQ through them, my Guardian Angel explodes, and then just casually walk away. Just EQ over the way. It's kind of cool. They don't get to kill me today, though I have to sacrifice my Ashe teammate. She lives too, don't worry. Slowly, because the Rumble shows up, and then we're able to kill the Zillion and the Revenge kill too. Whee! Yeah. In spoiler alert, I guess, I don't die at all this game. I'm so far ahead, 20-0-14. At this point, I have enough gold for Dead Man's Plate, and it's just kind of, I can't really buy anything anymore. Like I said, at this point, Jax can really just kind of kill me by himself, but hey, I'm just going to escape rather easily. It's time, again, people have had issues with me uploading stomp games, right? They've had issues with me uploading losses, saying, oh, lol, you lose. Having slow, methodical games because, they're boring. Having very even games because people feel nothing really happens. Really long games because they take too long. Really short games, whatever. Basically put, people complain about any other type of game that I've ever uploaded. So at this point, I'm just going to upload whatever I feel like uploading on the day, though I will still do those straw polls. And I really just have been having a really good mood. And remembering how I felt really dope playing this game, I decided to upload the Jarvan one. So, yeah, the Jax gets caught. He is pretty goddamn strong, and my Pantheon teammate and my Ashe teammate almost got brought down by him. But thanks to combined effort, he easily gets taken down, and without him, the enemy team is just kind of super fucking hopeless. They can sort of escape from me at this point, but they can't hope to fight back. So just kind of take what I want. I'm just, at this point, chugging elixirs. Kind of have way too much gold to myself. Obviously, 21 kills and a lot of farm, considering I'm a jungle. And didn't just go to ganking. And I'm just seeking to end this game once and for all, while my teammates are just kind of, walking around. Maybe team tries to stop me as best they can, but to be honest, they probably should have just surrendered a long time ago. So hooray for Jarvan, and hooray for breaking my team's losing streak. Hooray! The game after this was the Valorant game, by the way. This channel is supported by my sponsors, Crunchyroll and Loot Crate. Check out the description below for links to the websites. Signing up for any trials, including Crunchyroll's free anime trial, greatly supports my channel. Also remember to give the video a like to support the channel and subscribe if you haven't yet.